Hi, I'm Rod Britton from Seasmokefm, the financial projections tool for technology-led businesses, making the act of creating projections routine. Let's quickly talk about 7 general features of Seasmokefm that sets it aside from other tools out there. Firstly, let's start with currency. So Seasmokefm is a truly multi-currency tool. Over here, you can actually input 5 different currencies of your choosing that you want to use within the model. So you put those in, you put in your rates, you choose your reporting currency, which is from one of the 5 that you've input, and away you go. So within revenues and costs and capex, every item has a separate currency that you can choose. So it means that if you've got international operations, different currencies, people all over the place, you can actually put in native currencies, and you don't need to worry about always having to convert it into a reporting currency when you're doing your projections. This is my graph page. I'm not going to take you through all the graphs, but one of the things I wanted to highlight was that for each of the 5 years of the model, there's an EBITDA bridge graph that's already built in. Those that are familiar with it, it's a really neat tool to describe how your EBITDA from last year over here, with all of the changes that's happened this year, how did you end up at the EBITDA this year? What's changed? And over here you can see here revenue and some cost items. So really good way of storytelling your numbers. Let's flick over to the executive summary. So executive summary page, if you were to turn this into a PDF, it's 8 pages, quite a neat thing to send to someone. But at the top, you've got the 8 numbers that describe your financial projections. And over here, you can choose which 8 numbers you want based on a list that I've created. So you can change this. You can see over here, this has just changed. And you can choose a whole load of options. So that's quite neat, and it'll depend on what you want to show. Let's flick over here. This is called Plan on a Page. Now, again, this is part of storytelling. You've got quarters up here. Down here, you've got your financial projections that come through automatically, high level. And then up here, what you do is you simply type in freehand what you're planning to do in quarters, or maybe you want to merge these and make it into a 6 monthly period. And the 3 main categories are your technology, your product, your commercial rollout, and then the people plan to support all of that. Really good way to describe to investors, to your board, to management, to your staff about what your plans are. Over here is a valuation page. At the top, you've got your cash flows. Down here you've got your valuation. So what you can do is you can actually choose the year with which you're going to value the business. So let's just put it on year 5, and there's 3 ways of valuation. You've got your perpetual growth approach, which uses the WACC and the perpetual growth rate, and then down here you've got your EBITDA multiples and your revenue multiples, and those multiples you'll generally get from comparable companies. So it goes away and does some calculations to work out enterprise value, adjusting for net debt to get your equity value. And over here, you've got some further kind of checks, if you like, what the implied EBITDA exit multiple will be and the implied free cash flow growth rate. Again, just checks to make sure that it sort of smells right. Turning to the scenario page, this is a scenario modeler for revenue. Let's say that we want to just play with the price for SaaS. This is the SaaS monthly build. Let's say I want to just quickly reduce all my prices for basic tier by 10% in the first couple of years. So that's what you would do. Stick it in there and then just have a look at your output. What impact does it have on valuation? Does it have an impact on cash, profitability? And you'll notice up here, it tells you that there's a scenario being modeled, and this is on each tab, because what you don't want is to use this and then forget to actually set it back to 0, and then it becomes part of your base case. So as soon as you delete that, it goes back to base case. And lastly, this is an Excel spreadsheet, so things can go wrong. I've built it with a great deal of care, but there's a check balance in here. I won't go through all of it. There's 87 checks that go on, but you'll notice at the top it says here model imbalance. So if any of the checks are out, it'll say it's in imbalance. It'll change to red, and away you go, and that's on each tab as well. If you want to know more, take a look at my website. Type in Seasmokefm into your browser. Message me on LinkedIn, Rod Britton, or you can email me at rod.britton@seasmokefm.com. Also, take a look at some of my other videos to give you an idea about what other features are in the tool. Thank you very much for watching.